In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a simple laser cut design in Fusion 360 using a technique that I call multi-plane sketching. Let's break that phrase down. Laser cutters only cut in 2 dimensions, which means that your Fusion design only needs to include 2-dimensional sketches. But when this design is assembled, it will be 3-dimensional because the parts do not all lie on the same plane. Therefore, when we design it in Fusion, we should sketch on multiple different planes, both so that we can see what it will actually look like and because this will help us make the design more accurate. You can see that the 3 pieces of this design fit together with tabs. Tabs are a common laser cutting design feature that ensures our pieces fit together in exactly the intended positions. I'm going to start in Fusion by creating a sketch on the YZ plane. In this sketch, I'm going to draw out the design for the left side panel of this assembly. I'm going to get the line tool and click on the origin to start. Now I'm going to hold down the Control key so that Fusion does not add any automatic constraints while I am roughly sketching in the shape of this part. You can see that many of my lines are at weird angles and definitely are not the right size, but that doesn't matter. First, I'm just going to get the geometry that I want into the program, and next I'm going to tighten it up using constraints. I like to use the horizontal vertical constraint first because many of these lines should either be horizontal or vertical. After applying the horizontal vertical constraint to my lines, I'm now going to use it on points to further align the drawing. Now I'm ready to use the Sketch Dimension tool to start adding dimensions from this diagram. For the vertical positions of these tabs, I can look at the sketch of the back panel of the design. You may notice I still have some unconstrained lines. That's because the depth of these tabs is not specified in the dimensions on the sketch. However, you can see a call out on the bottom left that says all tabs are 5.5 millimeters deep. The reason all tabs have this depth is that we will be laser cutting this design out of 1/4-inch plywood, which is approximately 5.5 millimeters thick. The depth of the tab must be the same as the thickness of the material so that the tabbed pieces will line up perfectly when assembled. After setting this dimension to 5.5 millimeters, I can use the equals tool to make the other tab the same length. I have now fully constrained my first sketch. I'm going to right-click and rename the sketch to left side. I'm now going to finish the sketch and begin a second sketch on the XY plane. My goal now is to draw the bottom base of this design. Once again, I'm going to take the line tool, hold down the Control key, and loosely sketch in the lines that I want for this part. Now I'm going to use the horizontal vertical tool again to make the lines that should be horizontal and vertical in the correct orientation, and I will use the horizontal vertical tool between points to further align my design. Now, before I start adding dimensions, I need to explain something about sketches. We are currently working on sketch 2, and we can see the left side sketch that we already completed. However, from the perspective of sketch 2, that left side sketch doesn't exist. Sketches are only aware of entities that exist within the current sketch you are working on. If we tried to attach something to the left side sketch, it wouldn't work because to the sketch that we're working within, the left side sketch doesn't exist. This can be frustrating. However, Fusion includes a tool to help us relate sketches to existing geometry. That is called the Sketch Project tool. It is available at the bottom of the Create menu or by pressing the P key on your keyboard. Using the Project tool, I can select pieces of geometry from another sketch or body that I want to reference in my current sketch, and after pressing OK, you can see little purple dots have appeared. Not only have these points turned purple, but if I hide the left side sketch, the purple points are still visible because they are now a part of Sketch 2. I can use these points for constraints and dimensions in the same way that I would use a sketch point I had created myself. So, I'm going to use the coincident tool between a line and a point. If I select this projected point with the coincident tool, and then select the front edge of my Sketch 2 shape, my Sketch 2 shape will move so that the bottom edge is lined up perfectly with the point I selected. I can similarly select one side of my tab and the other side of my tab. You can now see that these three lines, which I used the coincident tool on, have turned black. They can still be moved side to side, but they will not shift out of alignment with these projected points. Furthermore, the bottom corner of this tab should actually be directly attached to those projected points. I've now saved myself the trouble of dimensioning this tab into place because I referenced the dimensions that I already drew in my previous sketch. I'm now going to use the dimension tool to finish up this design. Remember that all tabs are 5.5 millimeters deep, and that we can use the equals tool to make all tabs within the same sketch equal to one another. As I added dimensions, you may notice that my angled side has shrunk away to almost nothing. That's okay. I'm just going to grab one corner and drag it until it looks a little more similar to the desired shape, and then I'm going to use the dimension tool to make it the exact right size. My second sketch is now fully constrained. I'm going to finish the sketch, right-click on it, and rename it Bottom Side. So you can see I now have two sketches floating in space, intersecting with one another at their tabs, just like they would as real laser cut parts. We have one more side that we need to sketch before we're done. So I'm going to create a sketch on the XZ plane. And just like before, I'm going to use the line tool to roughly sketch out the geometry that I want in this part while holding the Control key so that the program does not automatically add any constraints that I don't want. And again, I'm going to use horizontal vertical to straighten up some of these lines and to align them with one another. I'm now going to hit the P key on my keyboard to bring up the Project tool, because between the left side and bottom side that I've already sketched, I'm not going to need to add hardly any dimensions to this third part. When I click OK, you can see a bunch of purple points have appeared. By using the coincident tool, I can quickly and easily line up parts of my design exactly where they should be. The only thing I need to dimension is the depth of my tabs, which is once again 5.5 millimeters. Now all I need to do is add my custom shape to the back. I'm going to use the spline tool for this. And in this example video, I'm just going to draw a wave like the one shown on the diagram, but you should feel free to draw any design that makes you happy. This sketch is not fully constrained because constraining a spline is very challenging, but all of the critical geometry is constrained. So I'm going to hit Finish Sketch and unhide my other two sketches. It can be a little bit tricky to see, but all three of my sketches are aligned with each other in space and have matching size tabs that should ensure this part fits together correctly after we laser cut it. The last thing I'm going to do is rename the third sketch as something recognizable, and this design is now ready to be exported for laser cutting.